Hello students, today we are going to learn a new chapter from our civics book that is called Democratic Politics. Okay, this is the first chapter of this book. That name is Power Sharing. Power Sharing, very important chapter to understand the other chapters of this book. And from the last 1 year, it means from class 9th, we studied a lot about democracy. We understood about democracy, the meaning of democracy, features of democracy. After that, we talked about the making of constitution. Then we discussed about the uh, we can say election process, democratic rights, fundamental rights. We discussed about a lot. So now we have come on the next level, and that is our class 10. So we need to understand this. Power sharing. In this chapter, we will discuss about the different forms of power sharing. What type of power sharing we are talking about here? We are talking about governments. We are talking about power sharing in the different part of the government, how government is being ruled, okay, how a country is being ruled. Okay, if we talk about a country like India, so we will take the examples of other countries also. We will see that in which country people shared the power, in which way, where people shared the power, what were the consequences, what were the result. If any government or if any country didn't share the power, so what consequences they faced. So we will discuss about it. So I will try to make you understand this. Okay, so we'll start here. So as you can see, the two names are highlighting here, two countries name, Belgium and Sri Lanka. Belgium and Sri Lanka. Now you will say, what is this combination? Belgium is an European country, and Sri Lanka, we all know, it is an Asian country. So, what is the difference or similarity in it? So, we'll discuss. So, these are the case studies. There are two cases. First case is from Belgium, and second case is from Sri Lanka. So, we will see that what decisions their government took in initial time and what were the results, how they shared the power, how they given the power to the other people, to poor people, to others. Okay, so we will start it from Belgium. Okay, Belgium, we all know it is very small country of Europe. Okay, as we, if we will see the map of Belgium, it is very small country. If you want to compare this country with any Indian state, so I just want to tell you, our state Haryana is little bigger than Belgium country. Okay, so that's why we need to understand this. Belgium is a small country in Europe, smaller in the area of state of Haryana. I already told you. This country has the border with France, Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg. Okay, it has population little over 1 crore, about half the population of Haryana. The ethnic composition. Now, this is important term here. Ethnic, ethnic with the meaning you can see here. Okay, here you can say in glossary, ethnic. Ethnic, it means a social division based on shared culture. People belonging to the same ethnic group believe in their common descent because of similarities of physical type or of culture or both. They need not always have the same religion or nationality. Okay, it is little we can say, mm, confusing, but just in simple words I want to say this is a group of people. Ethnic, it means like those who believe in a cultural values. By like me and my family members and my relatives, they are one ethical groups. Okay, so we believe in same culture and same tradition. Others, they have their other kind of groups. So what they are saying in the very simple way, in Belgium people were having the different kind of culture, and they were having different languages, and they were having different traditions also. So of the country total population, now very important issue here, like if we talk about this country now, so around total population of this country, 59% out of total country persons were living in Flemish region. Okay, where they were living? They were living in Flemish region. And what language they speak? They speak Dutch language. So 59% of people were living in Flemish region and they speak Dutch language. Okay. Now the rest of, then 40% of the people, they were living in Wallonia. Okay, the Wallonia region, and they speak French. So 59% people were speaking French and 40% people were speaking uh, French. Okay, so 59 were speaking Dutch and 40 were speaking French, and remaining 1% they speak German. Okay, so like this the 100% becomes 59, 40, and 1%. Now, but in the capital of Belgium, the capital name of Belgium is Brussels. In Brussels, 80% of the people were speaking French and 20% were using Dutch. So it means Dutch speaking people are in the majority in whole country, but they were in the minority uh, in their capital. So it is the, we can say, the living structure of Belgium. As we can see here in this graph, if we make a kind of graph here, so around 60% of people were speaking Dutch. Okay, and around 40% of people, okay, okay, it can be done like this. Okay, 40% people were speaking French. Okay, 1% people were speaking German. Okay, so that was the composition or language composition of that. So the minority French speaking community was relatively rich and powerful. This was represented by the Dutch speaking community who got the benefit. So it means the people were prosperous, they were educated, everything. Okay, but they got freedom. Okay, they got freedom around 1955. So after that, when this country was forming, so now a main problem was in front of the leaders of Belgium. Now what decision to take? By if these are 60-40 ratio, it was there na. So now if this kind of country was in Asia, so it could be divided into two parts. Okay, one country remains with the French speaking people and one country with Dutch speaking people. They always fight and kind of thing. But the Belgian people, they thought, can we tackle this situation? And they made their constitution, a very nice constitution, which was little confusing also. How confusing? So they tried to finish this problem what they started. So what happened? That was a social problem, as we know, but Dutch speaking people didn't like that time French speaking people. You are in large number, we are in the less number. Okay, so it happens when when a community, when a group of people are in the high number, so they want to crush the rights of other group, but it didn't happen there. Okay, let us complete this to the situation. Okay, just leave this here. I just want to tell you that what happened, that Belgium leaders, they made their constitution, and what they did in that constitution, they uh, said, if central government is there, central government means which government hold the power of all whole country, so that government will have 50-50% of people from French government and from French speaking people and Dutch speaking people. It means no discrimination. It means they will have equal part in the country. It means if any government will be made, so 50% ministers और 50% MPs MLAs जो भी है, okay, so they will be from French side, and they will be from rest of 50% will be from Dutch side. So this is the first, we can say, first amendment or first rule of that country. What was that? Be 50-50 participation in government, 50-50 participation in government of 50% French speaking people and 50% Dutch speaking people in central government. Okay, after that what happened? After that, second the main important part of this constitution, that is, the power was given to states, power given to states. And power given to states, it means they were having their own power. States were having their own power. They were not the subordinate of the central government. So in the where more and more people were living of speaking French, so their French government. Here in Dutch speaking people, so for Dutch government. So they were having the same power or equal power. So power was given to both. It means in central they are dividing the power, and now in state government they were having the equal power. So that was the second point. Now the third thing, third, they made a very rare kind of government on the very basic level. Very basic level, it was called community government. It was called community government. Then you can learn it from here. Accommodation in Belgium, how they accommodate, how they tackle, how they solve this problem. So as I'm telling you, so constitution prescribe the total, we can say, equal number of the ministers, as we can see here, equal number of, constitution prescribe that the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government, and some special laws required to support of the majority of the members, and from each linguistic group. Linguistic means language group, as we know two language group were there, so equal. Then second, many power, as I am telling you, many power of central government have not been given to the state government of the two region of the country. Two region, it means one region of French speaking and second region of Dutch speaking people. Okay, so that is called, like, they were having their own powers. Now Brussels have a separate government which separate, it means their capital were having the different government, where again they are having 50-50. Okay, Brussels, it means the city, we can say capital city of Belgium. There 80% people were speaking French and 20% only Dutch. But here also they shared equal powers. Okay, that was the very great decisions taken by their government. And apart from this, apart from central and state government, a third kind of government is also there, that is called community government. You need to understand this. It always it this question asked by the examiners in 1 mark, in which country the community government is there. So it is in Belgium. Okay, so this is called community government. What happens here? the people belonging to one language community like Dutch, French or German speaking, no matter where they live, the government has power regarding culture. It means they can enhance their culture, their feeling towards their language, their culture, religion. They can make new institutes, educational and language related issue. So it means no fight or no, we can say, clash or kind of thing were there. So they were having the same power in central government, same power in state government, now same power in the Brussels also, in capital city. And now they were having their community government, so they can increase their community language and everything. Okay, so like this, very nice example of accommodation, how democracy and how power sharing can tackle every problem. What every person want, they want power, they want to, we can say, a part, we can say, participation in the power. So simply Belgium had given the power to all. So that country is very prosperous. They are living really very happy. Now Dutch speaking people started speaking French, and French speaking person started speaking Dutch. So now no problem is there. Okay. So now that was the situation of Belgium. Now we are having another country also here, that is called Sri Lanka. We all know very nicely about this country a lot. Now what happened in this country? So let us compare this to the situation in the another country. We all know Sri Lanka was Sri Lanka got freedom in 1948. After that their constitution was made. But how it was made? Okay, here they are telling something about Sri Lanka is an island nation, just a few kilometers off the southern coast of Tamil Nadu. It has about 2 crore of population, about the same in Haryana. It is a very small country, it is, na? So now the social diversity is there. Social diversity means people were from the different religion and different speaking language. Okay, Sinhala speaking people were there. Sinhala speaking people were there 74%. Tamil speaking people were there only 18%. And out of this 18%, two groups were there. First, uh, Sri Lankan, Sri Lankan Tamil, and second was Indian Tamil. So Sri Lankan Tamil was 15% and Indian Tamil was 5% only. So just because of this, uh, they were having only, uh, no, it is a little wrong here. Uh, Sri Lankan Tamils were 13% and Indian Tamils were 5%. Okay, then total 18%. So the other 8% people were Christians and Muslims or Buddhists, Muslims and uh, Christians. So they speak somewhere Tamil also and Sinhala also. So main problem was there. It was a very nice thing that they were having 74% majority speaking people, and Tamil and Indian Tamil and Sri Lankan Tamil was in very less number. So it was a very kind of good condition, but to give them some power. But the Sri Lankan government, they made the constitution, so they did not give any right to Tamil speaking people. They only favored Sinhala speaking peoples. Okay, so it means it is this kind of government or this kind of we can say constitution is called majoritarian. Okay, so here we can say, okay, so majoritarianism in Sri Lanka, where a majority of group want to uh, clash or want to crush the other group which were not in the majority, they are in the minority. It is called majoritarianism. Sri Lankan Sri Lanka emerged as the independent country in 1948. Shala, we all know. So what they did in 1956, an act was passed to recognize Sinhala as the only official language. So what they did, they disrespected or disregarded to the Tamil language, and they gave we can say national language status to Sinhala. Okay, so it was kind of disregarded to the Tamil. So all the work was started doing in the Sinhala language and other things. It means, and other rights were given to the Sinhala speaking peoples, like the all only Sinhala speaking people were having the place in universities. They can contest the elections only. We can say they can only get the job. Tamil speaking people not were able to getting the job. So slowly this situation become very worst, and Tamil speaking people, they started raising their voice against government to get more and more, to get rights, equal rights. But soon it this protest became a kind of civil war. Okay, and this civil war resulted, many people died in this war, many soldiers were died. Sri Lanka had very worst effect of this war. They, we can say, they lost their economy, their cultural diversity, or we can say their status in the world also. So, in the end, many people, just we can say, left the country. Many were died there. So condition was very bad. So right now you understood. I told you two cases. First, Belgium, where they provide their all rules, rights to the citizen of their people in Belgium, and they gave them equal rights. So that country is having all the prosperity at this time. They are having their all rights, and people are enjoying those rights, and now no conflict is there. At the same time, we studied about Sri Lanka. They made a country, they made a constitution which was giving the right to only majority of people, and they disregarded to the minority. So this kind of system resulted to and a very bad end, and people died. They left the country, their economic condition, their cultural condition, and their we can say uh, we can say an image of that country become very dark in the global level. So these two steps were here of uh, we can say of power sharing, two examples of power sharing. Now in the next part of this chapter, we will learn about two things. First, why power sharing is desirable, why do we need this power sharing, if we will not share the power, so what changes will be there. And then we will talk about the form of power sharing. It means in how many ways power can be shared among the people or among the governments. Okay, so for now it is enough. So you study this. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. You can mention your question in comment box. I will make the video if the appropriate question will be there, so I will make the video or audio for you. Okay, and otherwise you can ask the questions in group also. Thank you.